Welcome to the Agility in Real Life podcast, Take 5 in Real Life. Now your hosts, Mike Studeman, Jeff Lee, and Pat Campbell.
Welcome back to Take 5 IRL, Take 5 in Real Life. I'm Mike Studeman, one of the partners at Agility IRL, and I'll be your host for this episode. I'm joined once again by my good friend Ben Floyd. Ben, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Mike. Glad to be here.
Appreciate you coming back for another episode as we continue talking about artificial intelligence and AI. We've talked about some aspects of AI in our previous podcasts. What I'd like to maybe focus on today is a topic that's near and dear to both of our hearts, the product development process. What are some of the impacts, Ben, that you see AI having on product development?
I am seeing a lot of teams and a lot of companies accelerate their learning. I'm seeing a lot of companies that where they can get to MVP very, very quickly now compared to days, years gone by.
So
Um,
give me a when you say very quickly, I mean you and I being certified Scrum trainers, obviously Scrum Guide 1 to 4 week sprints. What's quickly in this new AI driven world?
So I know of three different news channels where their IT department runs things, and teams that maintain websites are doing 24-hour sprints.
Wow.
Um, and what I'm seeing as the new normal is 1 week sprints for
Wow.
teams. The what AI can do and accelerate the learning for the team and the development of the team. We used to think 2 weeks was a normal sprint. I think the 1 week is where we'll be for the new normal.
Wow. I'm reacting that way because as you know, people like us have a challenge getting organizations to just move to 2 week sprints. And 2 weeks is mind blowing for some teams and some larger enterprise organizations. 1 week, I know that we have clients that would look at us and be like, we can't do 2 weeks and you're talking about 24 hours. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, and I think we go back to try fast, learn fast. I always look for the positive. If and the big thing when we look at organizations, if we talk to the leaders and we give
Mhm.
them concrete examples, like if you were to look at Duolingo or Spotify, they are using AI to its fullest power. They are finding out, does this button work better or does this button work better? Which one gets us more clicks? What color of the button works better? They are changing things on the fly that just that AI empowers them to do, and they can see real-time results before they roll it out to their entire user base. And so there are some big league companies that are working in this type of time frame. And that's what the new normal is. That's what all the companies, whether you're a startup to an enterprise company, that's what you're up against, and that's what your competitors are doing.
Sure. So Duolingo and Spotify, obviously two pretty much household names, at least here in the good old US of A. What advice would you have for organizations that are looking to speed up their product development process with AI? I mean, you mentioned a little bit, I forget your tagline there, but try fast, fail fast type mentality. Are there other tips beyond that?
There's a number of companies that have already set blueprints out there. And if you try fast, learn fast, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can look at, there are actually video articles, what Duolingo has done, what Spotify is doing right now. It's sort of like product ownership in a nutshell video was
Yeah.
back in the day. These companies are McKinsey and Company and their Lilly in-house AI tool. Was a 9 month from start to finish, and they went from one Scrum team to multiple Scrum teams as the AI in-house Project Lily became bigger and bigger. So the roadmaps are already out there for any organization to try fast, learn fast. You don't want to be Duolingo, you don't want to be Spotify, you want to be your company, but there's a roadmap that you can try and
Yeah,
see
don't
if
feel
it
like you have
works.
to, yeah, don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. As you said, these
Right.
companies are have already figured it out. I think And I'm curious as to your take on this. So do you think that the barrier to reducing the product development life cycle with AI is going to be technological, or is it going to be the cultural barrier of we're going to be okay if we fail a few times with trying?
Yeah, again, organizational culture is a big thing, and sometimes it's a difficult thing to change. The most interesting thing that I've heard recently, Mike, was McDonald's putting in AI on their equipment.
Wow.
So their McFlurries, I guess, have been notoriously machines that break down and are not usually operational. And they're using AI for when the warning signs, when things start to wear down, when it's time for replacement, when a part breaks. And they're using AI for that and versus saying, well, the manager will file the proper report for it. So the product development life cycle is wide open for whatever your imagination is. If
Right.
you can imagine it, have AI warn you when your dessert machine is breaking, or have it build an entire in-house AI resource library like McKinsey and Company. It, the canvas is blank. Just get out your paint palette and paint it to what works for your company.
Well, that's the big example I'm going to take away from this episode is if I can get blizzards on a reliable basis, that's a huge win for me. Maybe not for my waistline, but a huge win for me. Well, Ben, I really appreciate you sharing your expertise on how AI is impacting the product development process. Looking forward to future discussions on how AI is impacting some of our Scrum accountabilities. Thanks a lot for appearing.
Thanks, thanks for having me, Mike.
And thanks all of you for watching. Join us again in the future for another episode of Take 5 IRL. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Take 5 IRL podcast. If you like it, please go ahead and share it with someone, as well as like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Also, leave us a comment or a suggestion for a future episode. Again, thanks for listening, and we look forward to you joining us next time on the Take 5 IRL podcast.